I've been a practicing Domina in the European scene for over 10 years. Before that, I didn't know the scene existed, but I was a dominant woman naturally. I came into my own, on my own. If I wanted a submissive, I would go out into the vanilla wild and find people I desired and turn them into my submissives. But the scene made things much easier, like shooting fish in a barrel. You're listening to The Mistress Code. I'm RacyWilde. Since the influx of kinksters from the pandemic, there are a huge number of Dommeless submissives. You might think that this is a good thing, especially for a Domina, that I get a better choice. But it's actually turned out to be a bad thing because with the influx of submissives, there came an influx of inexperienced Domina, which are more content creators than real Domina, and they have started group training submissives on how to be a good submissive. The worst type of BDSM educators are the submissives themselves, particularly the female ones, who coach other submissives according to their own desires of submission. Now, I follow some of these social training groups because I want to see what they are teaching the Dommeless submissives, and I'm horrified. Their idea of being a sub and submission is exactly what I reject. It is obvious that these coaches have no clue what real Domina want in a submissive. What's more is that they teach their submissive followers to be self-powered submissives that don't even need a dominant or power dynamic to submit, which is the craziest thing ever. These types of subs will never find a real dom because they are the most undesirable. Domina wants submissives who obey them, who will surrender and submit and fulfill their desires, not those who follow a cookie-cutter script. It's gotten to the point where most submissives in the scene are not desirable anymore. They approach me with a cookie-cutter submission, which repels me. They wonder why I'm not interested in them, because they are doing everything right by their training. And that's the problem. They are acting like the perfect stereotypical submissive, but that is not what dominers want. It has become so bad that I rarely hunt in the scene anymore. I have returned to the vanilla wild to find people to turn into my submissives. Yep, that's right. I find my subs in vanilla clubs and on dating apps. It is much more rewarding. I get to train them from scratch, which is much easier than unconditioning a sub from someone else's training, especially training from another submissive. And being there first, I will be the dominant woman they measure everyone else up to. The power in that is lasting. Most domina only expect to dominate during their submissive relationship. I want to impact my submissives so they imprint onto me, and throughout their whole life to the very end, they will still be thinking of me. Now that is true power.